Let's talk about Malcolm Gladwell, an intelligent mind that is a best-selling author. He has written books such as Blink, Outliers, and David and Goliath. And he goes into various different topics: sociology, philosophy, psychology, etc. From a personal perspective, the book Outliers changed my way of thinking, and his books have had a significant impact on popular thinking. So let's analyze this train of thought and begin this journey. So the first idea I want to talk about is the power of small changes. And the premise is very simple. Small changes can create big, significant outcomes. To my knowledge, this is also known as the small wins theory. And like Picasso, I want to paint a picture. So let's give an example. So let's take Sally, and Sally wants to learn how to play violin. But due to her busy schedule, she has very limited time. So Sally practices the violin 20 minutes every day. And after 2 years, she has amassed 243 hours of practice. And now she can entertain her friends by either playing a bit of Mozart or Beethoven. This shows the power of small changes. So let's give another example. So let's take Jack, and he wants to read more. He has a particular interest in self-improvement, but again he has the barrier of time. So Jack makes a tiny small change. He decides to read 15 minutes every day, 7 days a week. And after 3 years, this becomes 16,425 minutes, which equates to 273 hours of reading. So Jack has now read a wealth of books. This has empowered his mind with new ideas, stimulating the left and right brain respectively. So let's give another example. Now Leroy wants to get in shape. He has been contemplating this idea for a long time, and after much deliberation, Leroy wants to take action. So Leroy decides to devote 5 hours a week to training. So that is a 5-hour week investment. Added to this investment is some simple dietary changes. And after 6 months, Leroy has made some significant progress, reducing his body fat composition by 5% and improving his cardiovascular health considerably. This significant change has come from the power of 2 small changes, which is a 5-hour investment in training and small changes in dietary habits. The important lesson here is that exponential growth often comes from small changes, because you could take this same 5 hours a week and put it into becoming a better writer, a better public speaker, a more strategic and efficient chess player, etc. This is an important weapon, metaphorically speaking, to have in your toolkit. Now the next idea I'd like to discuss from Malcolm Gladwell is the tipping point. The premise here is that things can spread very quickly in a small period of time, and this would be the tipping point. To put another way, where small changes evolve into more significant, massive changes. Now this is sounding overly lyrical, so let's give some practical examples. Now Twitter, the microblogging social media platform, experienced a tipping point, as by 2011, Twitter had more than 100 million active monthly users. Let's give another example. The iPhone, which is the smartphone developed by Apple, experienced a tipping point when it sold 100 million units in the first 4 years of its inception. Now these 2 examples are incredible, but what does it all mean? From my perspective, the tipping point is an explanation of virality, and we can have a variety of explanations for this. Marketing, word of mouth, money, effective human psychology, or the power of packaging a powerful idea. And maybe, just maybe, there's an element of luck. And from my perspective, a great question is, how do we cause a tipping point? Because an idea catching a moment of virality is an asset in the capitalist attention economy. Perhaps some tipping points simply can't be explained. For example, how did Shakespeare become so popular? How did Harry Potter become so popular? And if there is an exact science to this, why do some marketing campaigns fail, even if they are being executed by experts in the marketing field? And sometimes answers to these questions provide more questions. And again, from my perspective, the tipping point is a very interesting philosophy.